I'm so excited to be back after a little bit of a hiatus. We are back with our regular schedule on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So, yeah, we have an exciting topic today. And I'm just going to quickly go through some introductions, though, for those of you who are new to our community and to our group, and for those of you who don't know us yet. I am Jessica Melnick. I am the founder of the Anti-Arthritis Method. I'm the host of the Happy Joints Arthritis Solutions Group, and I help people with all forms of arthritis ditch their joint pain and get back to living their life the way that they want to. So I'll hand it over to Casey for her introduction.
Hi, everybody. We are so happy to have Jessica back in the cold where she is.
Yeah.
I am Casey Kephart. I'm a functional medicine nutritionist, and I have the 12-week program of the autoimmune disease formula, working with women with all different types of autoimmune diseases, trash your symptoms, and thrive and get back to living your life. And I am located in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Where it is beautiful and sunny and warm.
So warm today. It's so great. I have my yellow t-shirt to express how warm it is and sunny outside.
Amazing. So, you guys, today we're going to talk about different thoughts and perspectives that are going to be keeping us stuck and preventing us from moving forward to improve our health. And I think it's a super, super important topic because a lot of times, people we talk to in our community or just in general, when it comes to making any kind of change, whether it's, a new habit, whether it's a new exercise program or, trying out a new diet protocol, sometimes we run into, a lot of times we run into issues because it's so much more than just the actual thing that we're trying to do. There's so many other things that can come and get in the way and be obstacles. And a huge part of that is our mind. And a lot of times we don't even think about that because a lot of the thoughts that we have are subconscious. It's just, stories and things that we've told ourselves for years about like what we believe to be true. And we don't even realize that we're doing it. And so when we, like Casey and myself, work within our programs to help our clients get better, we really have to look at those thoughts and those perspectives to help people get through those obstacles that are holding them back. Because truly what we think is so, so important in making those changes actually stick and last over time. Because whenever something gets tough, our brain automatically wants us to go back to what we know and to go back to what's familiar and easy. So, exactly. Did you want to elaborate on that, Casey?
Yeah, basically just what you said, but our thoughts are very instinctual. So things that we've heard growing up, things that we've just believed and gravitated to kind of set the tone for our day-to-day life. So there's a lot of things we do subconscious because if we needed our brain's energy for literally every single thing we did, there wouldn't be enough energy. So your brain, bread, gluten, no. Your brain has this subconscious part of its mind, and I don't know the science behind it or the terminology, but you go on autopilot basically. And some of those thoughts today we're going to talk about so you can start putting energy into shifting them so you can start feeling better. Because there's a lot of times somebody will just bring something up and you'll be like, oh, well, that's a bad idea without even thinking about it, right? But maybe it's not a bad idea if you thought about it. You have to put energy into that. So we're going to bring up things that maybe you've already heard of, but you've never really thought about. So it's going to be interesting. And we're going to talk a lot about priorities because that runs the world as well as our mindset.
Absolutely. And we're going to go through these thoughts. So some of the most common thoughts, either things that we've had and things that have come up with our clients or other people in our community that are really, really common. And so I also want you to pay attention to, because we're going to be picking these apart. We're going to give you some new ideas about different ways to think about this. And it might trigger you, if you find yourself getting offended or annoyed with some of the things that we're saying, just stay with us. Just pay attention to what's coming up for you and explore that a little bit, because that's
Mhm.
that's yourself trying to give you more information about where is this coming from,
I like that.
So yeah, super important to think about that. So just stick with us and definitely comment as well on the live if you have questions as we're going through this,
Mhm.
whether you're watching live or in the replay, because we would love to hear what you have to say, and we're excited to answer your questions as well. So
Yeah, definitely. Don't get offended here. We're not targeting anybody.
yeah, this is like major common thoughts that, like I said, Casey and I have both have had many of these thoughts, and our clients have had to work through this as well too. So
Yeah.
yeah, very normal, very human. So one of the biggest ones we hear all the time is, I don't have time to cook. I have long days. I'm really busy at work with my kids or my family. I have all these things going on, and cooking is just not something I have time to spend time on and to do. So this is huge, because obviously the nutrition component of in terms of getting better from your arthritis, your autoimmune condition, is really, really key in order to start feeling better. And it's not the only thing, but it is a very key thing. And so in order to get the results that we want, we do need to eat differently. And a lot of the time that also requires us to cook as well, because it can be really difficult to find foods that are joint friendly or autoimmune friendly that you can't that you can just pick up or order in. So, and I know myself and Casey, we both keep our cooking really simple. Neither of us are chefs. We do a lot of cooking, things that we can freeze easily, that freeze well, and that we can just take out, so that you're not constantly making a meal every single night, because I don't want to do that either. I think there are some people who love to cook, but a lot of us, it's kind of like, oh, after a long day, you just want something simple. So
Mhm.
what else do you want to say about that, Casey? I know this is a big one.
Yeah, so if you really think about, well, first of all, I just want to preface that like these are all things that we say to ourselves that are inhibiting us from moving to the next level of getting healthier. So you're stuck in one position because you're saying all of these things to yourself, that it's too hard, blah blah blah. So that's why we're running through this. But as for not having enough time to cook, think about think about all the other things you probably don't have time for, but you do, like scrolling social media, like watching TV, like talking on the phone with your friend. There's a lot of priorities that you're putting ahead of your cooking. So I would just look into that and kind of see where you can shift your time. And if you need to do just a batch 3 hours of cooking so you don't have to do it for the whole week, you can shift that priority and make that happen. So I feel like everybody has time to cook. If you have a 12-hour shifts, if you have kids, if you have a husband, 6 dogs running around, you always can make time if it's important to you. So if this is you always saying that you don't have time to cook and that's why you're not feeling better, or that's why you're not going to get out of your sickness, reevaluate your time, really look into it and see what you can shift around, but also see where you can delegate. See where your husband can pick up here, or your wife, or your kids, or a clean or not cleaning service, a meal prep service, or a chef. Like whatever your budget allows, whatever your time allows, think about it, because this is one of the things that you're probably saying to yourself, and it's not true.
Yeah, and I think I know you said, Casey, just kind of in passing, you're like, oh, like a maid service or something like that. That's part of delegating your time. So it's not just delegating
Yeah.
cooking responsibilities; it's
Yeah.
also delegating the other things in your life that are taking up your time. So whether, yeah, maybe you do want to look into getting a cleaning service once a week or once
Mhm.
every 2 weeks, so that you have that extra 3 hours to cook, once a week or something like that. Or it's all the different things, all the household chores and things like that that you can delegate. Do you have, older kids that you could take on more responsibility?
Mhm.
Like looking at maybe some of your younger children, what are they capable of doing to like contribute to the
Yeah.
family? What are
Yeah.
you not asking others to help you with that you could be asking them to do?
Mhm.
So thinking about like, how am I actually spending my time when I am not at work, if you do work out of the home, and even just yeah, like paying attention to how much time you're spending on recreational activities and household chores and things like that,
Yeah.
and making that rearranging that, because the thing is we can only prioritize so many things,
Mhm.
and nutrition has to be one of them if you really want to feel better. And
Right.
that's the hard cold reality, unfortunately.
And it's not, I mean, this is a forever thing, but also it's not a forever thing, right? So it's going to take a lot of time up front to get down your routine, your system, what you like, what you don't like, what works, what doesn't work. But after a while, this is just going to become instinctual. You're going to do it, it's going to get done, you're going to be faster at it. You know what to eat, you know what not to eat. So it's going to be a little harder up front, but this is just going to be something that's a part of your life and you're not even going to think about it anymore. There's just going to be other things coming up that you're going to say you don't have time to do, that you don't have time to do because you're cooking. So we're always going to have these shifts.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
I want to take on the next one though that we have on our list, because I'm super passionate about it and get a little furious when people say it. Is healthy food is expensive. So Jessica lives in Canada. I live in the US. We have different prices here. Inflation is still, going up. Things are more expensive. But I guarantee you that you are still going out to dinners, that you are still buying random things on Amazon, that you are still um I don't know, if you're a smoker buying cigarettes, whatever your vice is and whatever you do, I guarantee you're still doing that, whether it's too expensive or not. So if you cut some of those things out and you bought the expensive healthy food, it wouldn't be expensive anymore. You'd probably be saving money. Also, if you're buying junk food on top of healthy food, of course that's more expensive. So it's all about shifting your budget, not just adding more money onto your budget, if that makes sense. And let me tell you, if you think healthy food is expensive, a hospital stay is going to be really expensive. So if you don't shift what you're doing now and you're just complacent and becoming more and more sick as you're eating these foods that are not helping you in any way, you're going to be in that hospital. You're going to keep going to doctors. You're going to have to keep buying medications and keep doing deductibles for your insurance. So think about it. That all adds up more than the healthy foods every day does. And we're not telling you that you need to buy everything organic, everything pasture raised, everything grass fed. There's a healthy balance with that too. And if all you can start with is the conventional vegetables, then start with that. It's still going to be so much more nutritious and nurturing, or I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but it's
Nurturing is a good word.
yeah, we'll go with nurturing for
Yeah.
your body, and you're going to feel better, even though it's just the conventional. So, again, think about why you say healthy foods are expensive. Think about what you're spending your money on that you could probably cut back on.
Mhm.
And again, it's just going to become routine. It's going to become a way of life, and you're not even going to think about it anymore because you're going to feel so great. Do
Yeah,
you
and
want to add
again,
anything
no, that's great. And again, it comes down to reprioritizing,
to that?
how you are spending your money, and just having a really close look at like, how exactly am I spending my money? Where can I cut back? Where am I spending money on things that don't really have that much value to me that I could put towards buying healthier food? And like you said, you don't have to be perfect. Like, I encourage my
Yeah.
clients, you know what, if you can't buy all organic and pasture raised and grass fed and all this stuff, you do the best that you can.
And you
So
can work up to it.
exactly, like you're not going to be able to do everything perfect, like off the hop. And like, even to this day, like, I don't eat 100% organic. There's some
Mhm.
things I just can't bring myself to buy. Like, I'm not going to go and buy an $8 tiny little container of berries right now. I'll get frozen berries and I'll use
Ain't
those
that the
instead.
truth? Right.
Like,
Just rub that.
yeah, it's kind of weighing the pros and cons of different things, and
Yeah.
doing the best you can.
Yeah, I remember when I first started eating this way, and I was in college, and we all know college people don't have money at all. But I did it, and I didn't buy everything organic, but I also wasn't going out as much either because it made me feel like shit, for lack of a better word. So I was really
Mhm.
spending my money that I was eating out with the foods that I was making and buying from the store. So again, it's just shifts that you're making in the money flow. It's not a bag of chips are maybe $1 and kale is 3, but what's going to make you feel better? That's what should be worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Another one is healthy food doesn't taste good. And I totally understand why people think this and where they are coming from. If you have grown up and you've had healthy foods prepared for you in a way that tastes terrible.
Yeah.
So, for
Like
example, if you,
frozen Brussels sprouts.
yeah,
Disgusting.
right?
Disgusting.
Like, and if you've grown up on things like boiled and over steamed vegetables, and that's your idea of what vegetables taste like, of course you don't like
Yeah.
vegetables.
Yeah.
You know, you have to try them prepared in a way that actually is good and has some nutrition left. Because if you're boiling and like steaming the crap out of your vegetables, they're going to taste awful. And
Yeah.
that, there's like vegetables are really, really delicious. You just have to learn how to simply prepare them in ways that
Mhm.
actually taste good. And it's not hard. Trust me. A lot of times it takes just as like the same amount of time as it does to boil something as it does to roast something, and you get a completely
Yeah.
different result.
Yeah, exactly. I was on a call with a lady, I think last week, and I asked her if she had any last questions for me. And she goes, "Do you really like the food that you're eating?" And I kind of like laughed and I thought about the food I was eating and I was like, I thoroughly enjoy the food that I eat. Like I really do. One, because it makes me feel good, but two, because I'm a good cook now, I make it in a way that I really like it and it's delicious. And I don't like now other foods that are prepared for me. I'd prefer my own.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not eating cardboard here, people. We're not telling you to only eat plants and tofu and like,
Low fat, anything.
yeah, no, all of this has flavor. It has juicy fat in it. It has all the nutrients that are going to make you feel good. It has yummy oils in it and spices. Like, if you don't like what you're cooking, change the recipe within the protocol or diet that you're on. You don't need to ever eat anything that tastes nasty to you. And if you're doing that, you're probably not going to be compliant, right? So we want you to vary up the recipes. We want you to try different methods and cooking methods and oils and things like that. So um, if you're saying that healthy foods are nasty, change your recipe, honestly, because it never has to be nasty.
Yeah, I have a funny little anecdote, and sorry, mom, if you're listening. Um, but growing up, I didn't think I actually liked steak. And it wasn't until I was
Yep.
in my early 20s and I went out to this steakhouse. It's a really popular steakhouse here in Canada. And I had a steak done medium. And I remember being like, oh my gosh, this
Yep.
is so good. Like, I never knew steak could taste good. And it was because all the steak I had at home was just so overcooked and
Yeah.
chewy that I thought that was what steak tasted like.
Yes.
And I didn't like it done that way. And maybe some people do like it
Yes.
really well done. I didn't, but I didn't know.
I have the same story with steak, with pork chops, and with green beans. Like it was canned, it was nasty. I like green beans that are fresh. I like pork chops and steak that are cooked right. So that's a great story. I laugh because my mom's gonna watch this too and be like, "Thanks, Casey."
Like, I love you guys. You cook so many
I
delicious
know.
things for that one thing.
Thanks for not making me starve, but I can do it better now.
Oh, too funny.
That is really funny. Um,
Yeah, keep going.
yeah, so let's see. We're kind of running out of time here, so I want to get the most important ones, but um yeah, so let's go don't have energy to cook. Just because with an autoimmune disease, fatigue is often a huge part of it. Pain in your joints is a huge part of it. And when we think about cooking, it's like, oh God, I got to do that again for the rest of my life every single day. This is awful. Why don't I just get some microwave TV dinners if that's still a thing, or takeout, fast food? It's easy, it doesn't cause pain, blah, blah, blah. I disagree though, because it does cause pain in your body, and this is going to leave you to a hospital stay or you sitting on the couch all day because you can't get up. So you not having energy to cook is later on going to lead to you not having energy to do life anymore. So while you're in this state of having no energy to cook, whether you're in pain or fatigue, it's real. We know that. We know what it feels like. Delegate, get some help, have a friend come in, have a chef come in and prep all of your meals for the week. Have, your husband or your wife or your kids, just like we were saying before, food services. There is autoimmune protocol food services out there that just deliver to your door. And then again, this is temporary. So if you do this and you delegate for, say, 6 weeks, you're going to see so much improvement in that 6 weeks where now you're going to have the time and energy to cook again because you're feeling less pain, you're feeling less fatigue. So then you can start doing it yourself. So while you're in this state, get help so you can then do it later on.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Because it's going to pay you back
Yeah,
like 100 times over.
tenfold. Mm-hmm.
And like you said, we were talking about earlier, it's always hardest to start something new, but it will get easier over time. And before you know it, it's just kind of second nature. It's like brushing your teeth.
Yep.
Most of us don't even think about it. You brush your teeth. That's part of your hygiene routine.
I
It's
hope
normal.
so, at least.
Yeah, right. And eventually cooking becomes like that too. It's part of what you do. It's a necessary thing that you do for your health.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Exactly. So if you are thinking about any of these things that we said, and like Jessica said, if it triggered you, or if you always say this, take a little more time today or tonight to just think about why you say that and what barriers are getting in your way, and maybe how you can shift it if you want to shift it. Because if you shift those 3 or 4 things that we just talked about, it's going to propel you into a much faster healing journey. And I guarantee right now, if you're saying these things to yourself, you're complacent in your healing journey right now, and you're not moving the ticker forward.
Yeah.
So come talk to us about it. We love talking about mindset shifts and priorities. And, I'm happy to give a kick in the butt, and Jessica is really good at love and nurturing. So between the two of us, we can help. Um,
Yes.
and we talk about this all the time in our programs. So you're not alone here with having to change the mindset. We have worked on this for years and years and years to get
Yeah.
to where we are.
Absolutely. And we really want you to think about this because we don't want you to wait till a point till it's like bad enough for you to ask for help.
Yeah.
Because by then, oh my goodness, like nobody ever wants to be in that position. Like bad enough for some people is having to go on disability
Yeah.
instead of being able to work. Like we don't want that for you. Sometimes bad enough is your illness is impacting your relationship with your loved ones in a negative way, or you're missing out on the things that you love to do and that you want to do and that you're
Mhm.
your independence because you are too ill. So we don't want you to wait till that point. And so we just want you to really think about these things. And yeah, if you do have any questions, concerns, things that we talked about that fired you, that got you fired up, yeah, reach out. We want to help you with this.
Yeah, definitely. And it's going to take longer for you to get back to normal if you wait till you're in that bad spot. So don't do it now, or don't do it then. Do it now.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll be
Well,
back Thursday,
we
right?
are back on Thursday, and we're going to just give you guys a good overview of our backgrounds and our illnesses and kind of our journeys with that process as well. So
Yeah.
I know some of you know, but a lot of you don't. So yeah, that's what we'll be sharing on Thursday.
That'll be fun. Thank you, everybody.
Have a good week.
Bye.